What's amazing is that my father never wanted to take me caving with him, which I never really understood. My mom was very anxious, and she spent almost her whole life with a husband who spent every weekend underground. He had accidents and all kinds of stuff happened. And I think she didn't want her kids doing the same thing, so he never pushed us in that direction. Later on, since he didn't want me to do it, of course, I wanted to. And that's how I got into caving. This story began because of trous de glace, and that's why we're here today. Since the first thing you need when going into a cave is light, we made lamps. For climbing down, we made descenders. Climbing back up, we made ascenders. We made belay devices, carabiners, anchors, and helmets. Since none of that equipment existed at the time, we had to invent everything. Everything Petzl has invented was through hard work. I never changed. I always stayed true to the core business. Become an expert and become the best. I know that together we can create amazing things. I'm convinced that when you believe in something, even if it looks crazy, you can move mountains. We can change the world. Our clients have no room for error, and neither do we. We don't take shortcuts. That's impossible for us. Everything Petzl has invented was through hard work. We're efficient people, builders, assemblers, and creators. That's our thing.
Petzl is the brand it is because of the quality, because of the innovation.
At Petzl, we try to go beyond the status quo. We're looking to push the limits of what people are capable of doing and giving them the tools to really go beyond that normal capability.
It's a family operation. We don't report to Wall Street. We're not a public company. We choose to maybe make some sacrifices in order to do things the Petzl way.
We build a product that has to be invisible for the professionals who use it. We see no other option but to make personal protective equipment that maximizes safety and makes their work easier.
We must be able to guarantee that each piece of equipment we put in their hands, around their waists, and on their heads is 100% compliant with safety standards. That's the responsibility we take on in order to earn the trust of our users. When we hire new employees, we take the time to teach them about the use of our personal protective equipment, to demonstrate the importance of quality assurance and manufacturing on each of our operations. Over the past 8 years, we've completely revamped our industrial processes. Polь Pettzl's determination to update our manufacturing stems from his understanding that the classical structure of industrial production can't survive beyond 2020 or 2030. Petzl's approach to manufacturing is primarily that of an assembler and inspector. Our objective is to perform the final assembly of the finished product so we can guarantee that each one is produced according to standards. All the parts we receive, things like rope, wire, straps, and metallic components, elements that keep the customer alive, they go to the laboratory to be tested and sorted. We establish a level of control and a guarantee of quality that is extraordinarily high. The main objective is to concentrate the manufacturing operators and final inspectors on their activity, which is to manufacture, inspect, and make sure that safety operations are carried out.
Robots only control what you request them to control. They cannot feel if the spring is doing what it should or if there are any cracks. The robot is not able to do what human beings can do. We have a specific training program for operators doing the final quality control. We cannot leave the life of our customers hanging on to a questionable product.
The final step on our assembly line is assisted by an SAP tool. Here, a product like a gree-gree is marked and registered in the system, allowing total traceability through the batch number.
We know who controlled the product. We put our names on the product, so it's an extremely important responsibility.
The complexity for us is to reach perfection. It's done manually, and it's done here. So it's kind of our pride. We haven't changed that. It's made in France, you know. With our lean manufacturing approach, we have redesigned, reimagined, and revisited 100% of our production process to improve our quality control and verify that we've taken into consideration all of the risks that a customer could encounter. The creation of this industrial entity was concurrent with the lean manufacturing approach in France, which was really growing and expanding on the French production sites. So we really had to start from scratch. We're 10,000 kilometers away, but we really are Petzl. The Hwang factory produces safety harnesses for climbing activities. Today, the maximum price for a harness is 120, 150 euros, and in the hour and a half it takes to make one, there are about 50 risky steps. Due to today's economic reality, we couldn't make these products in France anymore. Having a factory in Malaysia doesn't mean we're going to make low-cost products and give up our manufacturing principles. We really apply the same standards with the same quality of design at the assembly line. What's at stake for a manufacturing unit like our PMM is to demonstrate that we can do better than in France. It's not possible to work at the other end of the world if the head office doesn't trust us. It's that simple. The Hwang factory is not in the city center. It's located in a small town 30 minutes away from Kuala Lumpur. It's not that easy to find employees in the area. It turned out that there was a group of women, mothers, who didn't have access to work. We were able to provide a daycare center here at Petzl, giving women the chance to come to work and have their children near them with no worries, so they can concentrate on their work and then go home at night. Now, 8 years after opening Petzl Manufacturing Malaysia, we have people knocking on the door every day to apply, saying, "My colleagues and my friends already work here and it's great." Petzl is about passion. It's about a state of mind, the way we approach work, the way we treat people. Our Malaysian employees live Petzl. They breathe Petzl. It's a great success. Our industrial technology is laid out so we can work peacefully. We're lucky to be in an industry that's growing constantly. One of our objectives is also to always be a step ahead of our manufacturing capacity to make sure that Petzl's industrial tool doesn't limit Petzl's growth. We're satisfied with what we've done. We're unsatisfied with what we still need to do. But we have enough confidence to say that yes, Petzl will be even better than it is now. That's for sure. For sure.
Donc là, on découpe les boutons, les agneaux. Alors on les fait tout à l'abattoir, puis là on les découpe, on les met dans la cassette. Moi je les mange. Et puis Paul
I need to have that simple, basic human connection. It's how I get to know people. If we build this friendly connection, I know that together we can create very interesting things. This is Clue. It's a place I discovered 12 years ago. It's magical for me because I feel completely free here, at home. It's important for me because my business can be, well, not stressful, but full of challenges. We need to be good at everything. Here, it's another pace. It brings me back to the simple things in life, in relationships, and within the constraints of this building that sits at an altitude of 1,700 meters.
The distribution network started with caving. When Petzl was only manufacturing caving tools, trucks were coming from other countries. They'd buy products and then go right back to distribute Petzl. Now, the distribution has changed a lot. Today, we have a distribution network with a logistic platform right here in Kroll.
The decision we made in 2012 to develop our worldwide distribution center was one of the absolutely essential keys to being the best possible company for quality of service. It didn't take long to choose to keep distribution internal, which is a real competitive advantage. Mastering a distribution system, mastering a logistics system is the key to the reactivity, serenity, and efficiency that you can't have with an external system. It's just not possible.
Working for Petzl is a little unique compared to most companies.
Petzl is the brand it is because of the quality, because of the innovation.
The Petzls are very proud, and if they're going to put their name on a particular product, it's not because we'll sell tens of thousands of them, it's because it's a good product.
It's a family operation. We don't report to Wall Street. We're not a public company. We choose to maybe make some sacrifices in order to do things the Petzl way.
Paul is committed to make sure that every product goes out the door with zero defects. And lean manufacturing is all about, if it's not working, stop right now and let's get to the root cause so that we can have a better system going forward.
At Petzl, we don't get into what's classic, known, repeated. The Petzls don't think like the others. We think outside the box. We never repeat ourselves. We start from equipment that my dad or I invented. We tested it. It worked or not. Sometimes it was a mistake. Other times a success. And we'd made progress little by little. Today it's different. We imagine everything in advance.
Anyone at Petzl can come in and make suggestions. The role of the Fab Lab is to help them build a prototype and present their ideas to the Innovation Committee. What I really like is that it creates a dynamic, and it's part of a collective approach. It's not this or that person's idea or solution, it's the whole group. In this state of mind, we're always trying to make improvements. We have a very fast prototype method that allows us to say, we're going to try it and learn. Oh, it doesn't work. Let's improve it. This makes the Fab Lab even more operational and relevant. Today, Petzl manufactures products that help people realize a dream. I have a dream. I want to climb this mountain, reach this peak, scale this cliff. Petzl will provide the high-performance product and will explain how to use it. Petzl will give tips so that overall I'll perform better, be more at ease, more efficient in this environment.
We're trying to understand the various uses of each product for our clients, communicate the main purpose of it, and explain how to correctly use the product. We need to be in touch with each community in order to better understand the evolution of practices. Some have new equipment and new ways of doing things, so we need to be part of the community to understand how their needs change.
I wanted to give much more meaning to the foundation. We gave recommendations to help the community progress. We really did extraordinary things. We saved the Aigle Refuge. It was a refuge built in 1910 for climbers. It's got such a soul, and it's an amazing location, at a peak over 3,000 meters in altitude. The Petzl Foundation was really committed to saving the history of this refuge and passing it on. The foundation is always acting with a mindset of service. The foundation doesn't promote itself. That's not the goal. We really just want to help the community.
C'est ainsi que nous voulons. Voilà, je change tout le temps, c'est minable. Voilà, allez, je supprime, c'est trop, j'en rajoute trop. Faut que je réduise. De plus en plus d'outils collatératifs, mettre c'est le partage. Oui, bien, tout est comme. Bon, tout ça, alors là.
So the company is doing well. I inform you. I'm preparing everything I need for tonight. I'm almost embarrassed to read it. That's how it is. I'm a hard worker, not a genius. Oh, I didn't tell you. So I'm going to arrive with the bikers, dress like them, and go on stage disguised.
Merci. So, what?
When I hopped on the bike earlier, I said to myself that I should trust the other riders because they were leading me to this auditorium. They didn't always respect the speed limit, but like everyone else, they respected the Saint-Pierre speed radar. 45 years ago, sparked by Father's passion for caving, our story began. Because when you enter a cave, you need light to see. And when you come to the first well, you need to go down and then come back up. That's why we began developing headlamps and became experts in verticality. Today, our brand inspires real trust, and we will never let you down.
We all start off with a rescue bag, which is filled with standard climbing equipment. In addition to the standard equipment, we'll bring some equipment that's more specific to the response. For many years, we used this anchor system for helicopter rescue. We put a member of the rescue team on each side of the plate. The drawback of this system is that when the rescuers anchor themselves to the cliff face, they also anchor the helicopter to the cliff face. We puzzled over many solutions to this problem. Then we called Petzl to help us out. This led to the development of the Lézard. It has the same style of connector as before, so the rescuer can easily anchor to the cliff face. But if anything goes wrong, it can be disengaged, which allows the helicopter to move away from the cliff with the rescuer in tow. This lanyard stays on the anchor, but the helicopter is not attached to the cliff. It's a big safety improvement for the helicopter crew and for us as rescuers. This was real progress that was suggested and resolved by Petzl. Having the right equipment is key to successful rescues. We need to have complete trust in our equipment. We've been working with Petzl equipment for years and we trust it, so the Maestro achieves this goal. The Maestro will completely change how we do rescues. In challenging conditions, high-altitude rescue, winter rescue, with deteriorating weather conditions, snow and ice, even in caving, in truly extreme conditions, the Maestro has proven itself and works. We can hoist a load, we can belay, we can descend. With just a few ounces, we can do anything. The Maestro is a real revolution.
I'm an end user, which means I use those products on the fire ground. And so I have to have something that performs every time, all the time, perfectly. What I like about the exosystem is it's simple, it's clean and efficient when you're under duress. The principle of escape is the same. It doesn't matter if you're 30 feet off the ground or 300 feet off the ground. The exo is the same and the bailout is the same. You're chased to the window and you have to get out. Here's how we pick products for my rescue team and my fire department. It has to have a full step improvement in service. And so that's what I like about Petzl is they bring products that are better, not just newer.
That is what guides me and what interests me. If it's to do the same as the others, follow the others, or just change the color, I'm not interested. There's no meaning in that.
Paul sometimes spends a long time discussing a new product, often saying, no, I'm not happy with this or that. I need you to fine-tune this particular detail. He's good at viewing our own products with a critical eye by putting himself in the user's position. We build the products to last as long as possible. We choose the best components.
Today we've got more than 11 people dedicated to only testing, trying to understand what happens when someone falls. There are also fatigue tests to find out where the weak links are over time.
It's no coincidence that Petzl is where it is today. Our number one priority, before everything else, is the quality of our products, which our customers have to be able to rely on without having any doubts. If we need to spend an extra week on the product to have it as strong as it needs to be, we have no restrictions. The product takes precedence.
To me, Paul Pettzl is someone who inspires you to go further every day. This is someone who had the genius to say to himself, I'll try to make my father's inventions available to everyone who is as passionate as we are.
He's a great guy, really. He's a real down-to-earth guy, and at the same time, he'll go very far for his company. You won't get very far with nonsense. You're not going to sell him your idea if he doesn't feel it. He's going to think about it, and one day he'll say, no, let's drop it. And another time he'll say, okay, let's go. And when he goes, he goes. A family story turned into a real success story. In the 1940s, when Fernand invented a system in his garage to secure his caving explorations, he surely never imagined that he was laying the foundations of a real empire of a company that would become the world leader in verticality. This company is, of course, Petzl.
It's true. I think I gave my life. I'm a little emotional about saying it. To the entire staff who work with me, who are absolutely wonderful people, who work every day, give their time, their intelligence. I have real respect and deep gratitude for them.
We have tens of thousands of users who trust their lives to these products every day. And this commitment, this security must not prevent us from innovating, creating, exploring new and unknown territories. But it has to be done with mastery, with measured risks and mastered risks. Transparency is important because behind it lies trust. Trust is essential for the company, for Petzl, and for all those who use our products.
It's the concept of passion and shared vision that interests me, and to always be at the service of our customers and provide added value. That's what I want for Petzl. I want Petzl to always contribute to the community and the users. But each time, I have to look at all aspects. It has to add value, serve a purpose. Selling this company would be unthinkable for me. It would be like cheating all the people who've worked for us, who've given us everything. I can't imagine that. That's why it's great to come back here to Trou du Glace. It's the starting point for everything. I try to search for all the origins and foundations. Why did we take the path we took? Why did we do what we did? It all comes back to this cave. That starting point is right here, at this cave. So when I talk to engineers while we work on things, I have these roots, these foundations that I always rely on. They're so solid within me. And those around me know that. It's unwavering.
Et ils le savent autour de moi. C'est inébranlable, ça.
The next generation is getting ready to run the business. All subjects are discussed. But at the same time, we discuss them as a family because we're developing the family business principle enormously. If this keeps up, I'll be the happiest man in the world because I can't imagine it going to anyone else. It's not about owning the company. I don't really care. It's more about the movement we put in place, the new ideas, and all the trust that we built up with our customers, our suppliers, but also with our employees. The future? I don't care about the idea of becoming the biggest. The idea is to become the best. I'm driven by excellence and the will to achieve it. These are the values my father passed down. I'm trying to pass these values down too. Whenever there's a worry, a problem, I try to put them in the situation so they can understand the decision. And I encourage them to ask as many questions as they need to. Why do I think that? What are the reasons, etc.? I take into account what they think and say. We're already preparing for the future together, so their position is important. And I have a good feeling about the future.